Hello, dear student. Hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss about 20th June, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So dear student, so first important news is the Khamenei can no longer be allowed to exit. This is what said by the Israel. So recently there is a conflict that is going on between Iran versus Israel. So Israel is bombing on the Iran, and recently on the counter that on the counter to counter the Israel attack, Iran is also launching a lot of missiles and drone attack against the Israel, and Israel is accused that these are ordered by the supreme leader of Iran, that is Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So because of that, Israel want to eliminate or kill the Khamenei. So that is the reason it is in news. So no need to study more than that, but you need to know that if this war persists for longer period of time, that means Iran will like Israel will invite USA to intervene to end this war very fast. If USA is going to intervene here, then Iran may attack the USA base that is located in its neighboring country. If Iran attack its neighbor country, then all other neighbor country may indulge in the war, so that may lead to the wider Gulf war. If there is a Gulf war, so that is going to impact India very severely, because more than 1 crore people are residing in the Gulf region. That is what our concern is. So large number of, you can say, Indian diaspora, they are residing in the Gulf region. So it is our interest, we should ensure that there should be stability, peace in the Gulf region. So next is Supreme Court criticized the Corp on the Thug Life over hot this sentiment. So recently, we have a board called National National Board for Film Certificate. So this is under the Cinematography Act 1952. This is also called censor board. If some filmy or movie is passed by the National Board of Film Certificate, that means it is approved for screening all over the India. If any section of the people, if their sentiment is hot, that cannot be a ground for imposition of COB on the release of any movie. If anyone is having any problem, they can simply not don't watch that movie. That it was said by our Supreme Court. Okay? So we have seen in past also. So there are so many restrictions imposed by the local people when they found that something is not some ideology is not against their no not against not in sync with their ideology. They simply threaten the movie owner to screen that movie, not to screen that movie. Okay. Next is official blame for slipboard handling of the judge cases. So when the, you can say, police official and fire department, they found so many huge amount of cash on the house of, you can say, Justice Burma. So they have mishandled it. They need to be make proper report of it, when they need to collect all this evidence, photograph it, but initially they ignore everything. So because of that, there is no other option. It is very difficult to find the evidence. So it is very difficult to persecute them. So now there is a committee established, report of the 3 judge committee, which has been confidentially forwarded to the president and prime minister, then chief justice by the Sanjeev Khanna. Okay, so they started to start legal proceeding for impeachment. But just imagine, if a civil servant involved in corruption, so a civil servant not only removed from the job, but also there is a punishment. That civil servant will go to the jail term. But what about the judges? Whenever judges involved in such a high crime, so there is no such procedure, only you can impeach them. So but we need to penalize that, nah? Not only post should be gone, but also there should be severe penalty, so that can be going to deter our judges. So this is a clear case question, what kind of punishment we are giving to our judiciary. So really, do we have the separation of power? This is a bigger question we have to answer, and it is the high time judiciary to come forward and bring transparency. Okay. And dear student, those who are giving mains this year, you can write our answer writing program. So it is completely flexible. You can write question of your choice, and you can write 4 questions for a day, or you can write full length test in a week, or you can write 2 full length question in 14 days, and all your copy is evaluated by interview and selected candidates. It will get it very cheap rate. Okay. So those who are appearing for 2026, you can join our men's answer writing program. It is also quite flexible. So just no more, you can simply scan this QR code, join our application. Okay. And to get this PDF, you simply scan this QR code. So join our application. There is section called Infographics Edition. In that, you will get this paper, not the today paper. Past all newspaper are available there. You can simply download there. Okay. So next we will see the days after Congress jive, the MP government announced hike in Lightly Vehna allowances. So now this is not the political news is not important for us. What is important for us is there is a free subsidy scheme that has been provided by the MP government for empowerment of women. So name is Ladli Vehna. Like it's mainly aimed to provide Currently it is providing 1250 rupees per month, but it aims to increase to 1500 rupees post Diwali. So there is a good question, like there is an argument whether the cash transfer is going to empower women, or it is just a revdi culture, or you can say subsidy that is going to create crisis at the state government. So you have to debate on that, whether subsidy we are providing, whether they are going to empower the women, like that money they can invest in, let's say, productive assets, create a business, or that money can be simply used to from consumption purpose, that is going to create permanent you can say burden or dependency on the state government. So this is what important for our example. So you just note them down, so you can write them in your examination. Next is center stand on Kiladi and attack on the Tamil culture. This is what said by M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Dekho, this is the political controversy is not much important, but our importance is there is a civilization that is there is a you can say prehistoric time sites that is being found in the Kiladi. So because of that, it is quite news, and there is a demand by the central government, or you can say ASI, Archaeological Survey of India, to revisit and to modify or rectify, you can say, the finding from the Kiladi civilization. So because of that, it is quite a news. So they can ask about what kind of artifact, what kind of item that is found in the Kiladi. So it is a homework study about what is the discovery from the Kiladi. Okay. So next is in Rajasthan, the Pradhan Credit National Education Policy for jump in global university ranking. So it's a very welcoming step. Recently, we have seen that India's university, they are ranking very high. Like now 54 university are top 500 from the QS quarterly Simon ranking. So it was 11 in 2014. Now it is 54. That means we have increased 40 numbers in just 10 years. So that is commendable. So we need to note them down so that we can write. So why this successful happen? Because of a lot of steps taken by the government. Out of that, one important step is national education policy. National education policy has changed country educational landscape with emphasizing on the research and innovation. NEP has encouraged multidisciplinary, skill-based, and employment-oriented education system, which immensely benefited the youth. Yes. So this is also a sense of rootedness. So the NEP, we are integrating Indian heritage and knowledge tradition into modern education, focusing sense of rootedness. Before our this NEP, so generally we simply implement the Western education. So after NEP, we simply follow the Indian system of education. So currently, India is the fourth largest economy of the world. It is essential to harness the innovation, skill, and leadership potential of the youth to realize a vision of Viksit Bharat. That means developed country by 2047. So foreign university now, they are opening of campus in India. So a lot of university they are opening campus. So vice chancellor of Rajasthan, they also provide. I think this is all about the article. So if you want, you can make note of it. Okay. So you can support development in education in your mains answer. So political party compete to take credit for return of Manrega. So here this political controversy is not important for us, but what is important for us is you should know about what are the objective of Manrega, why, because of there is a political difference or whatever may be the political ideology or whatever may be. So people are ultimately suffering, and it is the legal responsibility of central government, state government, to ensure that there should be 100 days of manual worker. If people are suffering, that means it's a failure of governance. So you can talk about that also. So recently Kolkata High Court directed the resumption of Mahatma Gandhi National Guarantee Employment Yojana, that provide 100 days of manual labor per day for family. So same thing, the West Bengal government is also launched a scheme named Karmasri scheme, that aim to provide 50 days of work to the people of the states. Okay, just that is more than important. No, you can talk about governance, though we are talking about good governance, but whenever you are not providing the Manrega fund or work, so that is what people lose faith in our system. Okay. So next is Telangana CM and Minister asked the center to stall Andhra Pradesh water diversion project. So recently there is a water diversion project of Andhra Pradesh. This project name is uh, Godavari Banaka Chelra. Yes, Banka Chelra project. So proposed by Andhra Pradesh, which is detrimental to the interest of Telangana. So this is a interstate river water dispute. So whenever you are talking about interstate dispute, federal issue, you can talk about that. What is that? It is about Godavari Banka Chalra water project. Okay, so you have to talk that. So Andhra Pradesh proposed the project in violation of order of the Godavari Water Dispute Tribunal. So there is a tribunal established that is called Godavari Water Tribunal. They basically talk about how we are going to resolve the water dispute of Godavari River. So Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act also talk about same thing. So the Telangana government sought to no objection certificate from the Union Jal Shakti Ministry and Andhra Pradesh, allowing it to utilize 1000 TMC fit Godavari water and 500 TMCT water from the Krishna River. Okay? So each and every state they have certain rights to utilize the water of the both rivers. So Telangana government want 100 TMC fit of water from the Godavari and 500 TMC fit of from Krishna River. So recent time, dear student, we are seeing so many accidents that is happening in the Uttarakhand. So because of that, it is in news. So 5 helicopter accident in 40 days, including 2 fatal ones, and 13 people have been lost their life, have raised alarm bell on the chopper service, flying service, Char Dham Yatra, Uttarakhand. So we are going to see in detail. So crashing sound disturbing tranquility of the Ganga Nani town situated 600 feet above the sea level. So Uttarakhand, it was sound of helicopter ferrying pilgrimage, shattering the valley, leaving 6 dead. So you can see here the privately owned company offering Char Dham tour at a very high price, 2 lakh to 2.5 lakh per person. But because of this very tough terrain, so it is very difficult for those who are old age disabled to travel that. So they can avail the helicopter service. This is what the original intention is, to ensure that those who are older and disabled, they can travel to the Char Dham Yatra. The all-weather road and construction, which began in 2016, have made journey smoother, but frequent landslide that occur in the hill due to construction and fact that Himalaya are young mountains. So you need to remember that in Himalaya are young mountains. So any mountain that is young, they are prone to the landslide. And fact that Himalaya are young mountain has uh, added over to the pilgrimage. In peak yatra season, road to the Chamoli and Rudraprayag, Uttarakanshi, three district house four temple remaining peak day and night. Okay. So because there is high footfall of the tourists, so chopper are expensive. That means helicopter service are expensive, and access only a few to ensure people who are can afford. So government recently started a shuttle service. Shuttle means bus service, bus or small mini bus. These fly from the three spots, that is Phata, Sarsi, and Gupt Kasi. He says that now the new privately owned company run this shuttle service. They are pricing, they're reasonable, they are equivalent to the the pony or horse. You can ride through horse. But problem is, National Green Tribunal (NGT) in 2017 directed that Uttarakhand government to ensure no helicopter flies below altitude of 600 meter. Why? Whenever a helicopter flies, it creates a lot of noise, and noise is going to disturb all these animals, all those are wild animal they are staying. So valley. So to mitigate the noise pollution, potential disturbances to the wildlife, the rule is frequently violated by the helicopter company. Though there is a proper rules, but helicopter company they don't follow. Okay. The heli service was started as a pilot project for elderly and allowing pilgrimage. It was now become a way to generate money for the company instead of helping people. Okay. So this is all about the article. So we need to regulate this service so that we can prevent the loss of precious life there. Next, we'll go to the last page because there are a lot of news there. So here it is given that what World Health Assembly landmark resolution on skin disease means for global health and equity. So recently, World Health Assembly, that is the largest, highest decision-making body of World Health Organization. So something unprecedented happened at 78th World Health Assembly unanimously adopted a resolution. Title क्या है? Skin disease as a global public health priority. Skin disease as a global health priority. This is a long due resolution makes significant shift in how world understands skin health, not only for cosmetic issue but also core component or global public health, social equality and human dignity. So इससे पहले before that we generally tends to ignore this skin issue. We think that we are more focusing on the other diseases like liver, heart, cancer. So despite affecting estimated 1.9 billion people, that means 190 crore people of the world, skin diseases have remained chronically underfunded and neglected, especially in low middle income countries. So International League of Dermatologists Society, the world largest alliance of dermatologists, okay, organization, mark the pivotal moment in recognizing skin disease as a global public priority. Okay, so it reflects a growing global recognition that skin health is central well-being and dignity of population. If some people's skin health is not good, we generally no, there is a stigma attached to that. People tends to ignore that person. So that is the reason it is quite important. The skin disease, though often overlooked, carry immense morbidity, stigma, and socio-economic burden, particularly in the low and middle income countries. Okay. So next is regional reality. So we have to study about regional reality. So healthcare funding have traditionally prioritized chronic disease. Chronic means long-term disease that is affecting our life. For example, internal organs often overlooked, like skin health, despite the significant physical, psychological, and economic impact. So skin diseases are deeply tied to person's self-esteem and opportunity. If some people is not look good, skin is having something, pimples, so that generally the people have low self-esteem. So if your skin is good, so that people are going to have a high self-esteem. Stigma around visible condition, including the different marks, leads to the exclusion, not just from the medical care but from the employment and society. When people are if we can see that people generally ignore the acid one victim, they simply don't employ them in their organization. There is a very good short movie available on YouTube. We can see that see the resolution as a pivotal tool for correcting the disparity. In India, World Health Assembly resolution arrived at a crucial time when one of the highest dermatology disease burden globally, from the chronic inflammatory condition to functional infection and pigmentary disorder. So India is having highest burden in terms of skin disease. So India stands to benefit immensely from the global recognition and domestic reform. Okay. So dear student, it is your homework, study about World Health Assembly. So who had, like, let's say each and every country send one representative. It is generally the health minister who is representing at the World Health Assembly. They are actually gathered twice, once in a 2 year. So you have to study about that, and it is your homework, study about World Health Organization, whether it is UN specialized body headquarter, what are the function, what are the treaty, so what is the pandemic treaty. So you have to study about PPIC, public health, public health of international concern. I think PFIC, PHFIC, I think PHI, PFIC. So you have to study different type of pandemic issue, warning issue by the WHO. Okay, so you have to study that. So next is unregulated drink. So this is a good article on regulated drink, rethinking alcohol control in India. So recently it is this report find that in India there is a widespread consumption of alcohol. So this safe limit to the alcohol is 0 ml. That means when small amount of alcohol is harmful for health. So 23% of Indian and 1% of the women consume alcohol as per National Family Health Survey. You can say one fourth of Indians and 1% of men's and 1% of female consume. India also record one of the highest rate of heavy episode of drinking. Lacks need clinical and social support. So alcohol consumption significantly, raise the risk of mental illness, non-communicable disease like cancer. Beyond health, alcohol is associated with aggression, crime, suicide, and risky behavior. आपको देखे होंगे whenever people in a drunken state they can commit violence, rush drive. ठीक है. The estimated societal cost of alcohol related abuse is 6.24 trillion. Meanwhile, the per capita alcohol consumption is increased by 240% in last 2 decades. Underestimating, ठीक है, underestimating the early half, because we generally underreport the alcohol abuse because people generally don't report that how much alcohol they are consuming. Determinant of alcohol consumption. What determine alcohol consumption? First is biological factor. So there are some people who are very predisposed to consumption of alcohol because of biological factor. So psychologically, people drink to relieve stress, anxiety, and experience euphoria, means happiness. Socially, urban lifestyle, peer pressure, and glamorous portray in media have normalized the alcohol use. You think that by drinking alcohol, you look like a cool person. So because of that, people consume. So the commercial determinant industry has broadened the portfolio. Like nowadays they are giving fruit flavor, mint flavor, cocktail flavor. So because of that, people are using more often than not. So despite legal advertisement restriction, promotion tactics pursue. For example, that there is a McDonald's soda, so they promote the alcohol in the name of soda, drinking water. So that ultimately appeal to the people for consumption of more alcohol. Okay. So next factor is the alcohol industry, well significant to the over regulation, often resisting Stricter law, for example, state government, they are deriving most of their revenue from the alcohol sale. State, they are deriving most of their revenue from alcohol sale. So state are generally opposing any sort of reform, because any reform that is going to lose their revenue. So we can say the alcohol industry wielded significant influence over the regulation, often resisting stricter law by emphasizing its contributions to the state revenue through excise tax. Even the ban on advertisement are undermined through tactical marketing and alcohol purchase in public life under different names. Okay, so alcohol regulation in India fall under the state jurisdiction. It is the state who are regulating the alcohol and granting in state authority over legislation. So each state, they are legislating some law. So because of that, there is not uniform law at the national level how we are going to deal with this alcohol. For instances, Bihar, Gujarat and Mizoram, Nagaland enforce the prohibition. There is no consumption of alcohol. But Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Kerala, Manipur, Tamil Nadu impose similar ban. But now, previously they imposed, but there is no imposition as such. Okay? And other state, they allow the now there are some state they are allowing. For example, Kerala new abkari policy market today. So they allowing, Andhra Pradesh, they allowing the liquor rate less than 100 rupees, that means 99 rupees. So alcohol accessibility, even different state is having legal age for alcohol accessibility. Like some state it is more than 18, some state it is more than 21. So we can say that the GST act exclude alcohol from the sale tax, leaving the alcohol tax to the state, often vaguely define the excise policy. So however, India lacks a unified national policy on alcohol regulation, because each state government, they can make law on the alcohol. So because of that, there are fragmented law on how to control the alcohol. And it is also outside the NDPS Act, Narcotics, Drug and Psychotropic Substance. You know that this law is very draconian, very strict law. If anyone found with narcotic drugs, so that person can be penalized for life imprisonment. So but alcohol is excluded from that. So next is National Action Plan from Drug Demand Reduction. So this policy also cover, aim to control the alcohol abuse. So next is Nasha Mukt Bharat, also aim to control the alcohol abuse. So dear student, please note down all these things. So whenever you are writing anything, de-addiction, so you have to emphasize all this point. So next is National Mental Health Policy, recognize the role of alcohol in mental illness and suicide prevention, suggests the need for a specific action plan. Mental health policy, your mental health also quite linked with, alcohol consumption. Similarly, National Health Policy launched in 2017 mentioned that curbing alcohol use through the higher taxation. Okay? So recently, National Suicide Prevention Strategy, also alcohol is a major risk factor for suicide. It is also talking about alcohol is a leading cause of suicide. So we need to limit the alcohol accessibility. The National Plan and Monitoring Framework for prevention of control of communicable disease also echo the same at control of the alcohol. Okay? So what kind of way forward? So regulating alcohol is urgent but complex, given the alcohol disentanglement with state revenue. Any kind of reform that we want to bring, that state might oppose, because state getting significant revenue from the alcohol. So social norm, some society, they promote, some culture, it is generally implicit in promotion of like local handia, local, you can say, alcohol, political interest, because some party or some politician, they themselves involved, so they are going to oppose. It is time to move beyond short term revenue thinking and adopt a systemic approach to ground both on evidence and equity based on the biophysical economical determinant of alcohol. Okay? So first, purpose following regulated use, affordability. Alcohol price must be deter. So it should be not be affordable to everyone. We should increase the price. The alcohol price must be deter excessive use without pushing poor towards dangerous. While it is should be high price, it should not be too high, so that people will go to and buy some dangerous alcohol. So that can lead to the death of people. Second one is allocation. Health tax on the alcohol should be disappear into general revenue, earmarking this fund for public health combined with transparent governance. Like whatever money we are earning through the taxes in the alcohol, it should be used for health, improving the health of the people. So accessibility, the alcohol access must be covered beyond geographical distance. Urban policy must reduce the availability everyday space, signal shift towards free alcohol free environment. Okay? We need to ensure that there should not be access easily, like there should not be access to the near to the college, near to the you can see school. It should be far off distance. The more it is difficult accessible, people will consume less. Next is advertisement. In digital age, alcohol influencer, there should be very difficult in advertisement. Then attractiveness, then plain packaging, while packaging it, if it is very premium packaging that is going to attract. We need to make it, packaging very simple, so that is not going to attract to the consumer. So next is awareness. We need to create a lot of awareness among the people about the negative effect. So next is we can use artificial intelligence to curb, there are some misleading advertisement, misinformation that is being promoted. So India's alcohol crisis cannot be solved through the isolated action. Yes, we cannot solve by having isolated and single directed approach. So rather we have to have an integrated approach where, we have to act with society, government, and everyone have to act, so that, we can ensure that there should be prevention of alcohol abuse. So this article is all about it, so please note it out. So it's a very good important article, so that is going to helpful a lot. Okay. So next is India FDI slide 1.8% in 2024, share in capital formation declining. So you can study that UN, so that foreign investment play a sinking role in the India development. Like, before that the FDI play important role in our Indian development and investment, but now this role is shrinking. So direct investment inflow taking up 2% of the all capital formation in India, down from 8.8% in 2020. So once it is used to be 8.8%, now it is only 2.3%. That means we are not depending on the FDI. Instead of that, we are investing our money. So this report is published by World Investment Report, the World Investment Report published by UN, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So इसको हम बोलते हैं UN CITAD. So World Investment Report. So please note them down. So if they ask about World Investment Report is published by which organization, it is UN Conference on Trade and Development. Okay. So next is total stock of foreign investment accumulated in India over today's 14% of the gross domestic product. Like all FDI till now, it is only the 14%. So down from, you can say 18% in 2020. In absolute term, India attract 27.6 billion FDI. That is quite less as compared to 2020. Okay, so that means we are reducing reliance on the FDI. We are improving, we are relying on more on our domestic resources. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So this is a very important article. It all boils down to the Trump choice, as his next move may decide the course of war. So I'm just going to give a very good context. Now Israel is entangled with Iran in this war. So it's very difficult for, now war is in the stalemate. Like, Israel is attacking on Iran and Iran is counter attacking Israel. So to completely remove this Iran irritant. So some US expert, they say that US need to enter into this war and provide a bunk buster, so that, Israel can bomb everywhere, so that their nuclear program is completely destroyed. Because, their main nuclear program, it is located in a hill, and that cannot be removed on a normal process. ठीक है. हाँ. So Israel want USA involvement, so that, they can easily the nuclear sites from the Iran. But problem is that once if USA enter into this war, so in, that means there are around, 40,000 USA soldiers, they are stationed around the Iran, so neighboring country. So if USA start attacking on the Iran from the neighboring country, definitely Iran will attack all these neighbor country to destroy the US base. So in that case, it is a direct war among these all this Gulf country with the Iran. That means quick spread of Gulf war to all this country. So here that is going to very negatively impact India, because, we import all of our oil, or, the all our diaspora are there. So, and both the Israel and Iran are very good friendly relation of powers. So that is going to create a migrant crisis, or you can say the diaspora crisis. We have to remove them. We have to evacuate them. So that is the reason India is very concerned in this war. Okay. Russia won USA aggression, against military intervention in Iran and Russian Israel conflict. And next is, Putin and Xi Jinping condemn the Israel strike, call for a diplomatic solution. So everyone want diplomatic solution. Okay? Here you can see there is a warming of relationship between Pakistan and you can say USA. Why? If USA want to attack Iran, they need a base. So base is Pakistan. So you can use Pakistan as a base to conduct the attack on the Iran. So because of that, they need Pakistan support. So that is the reason they are saying Pakistan is a strategic relationship. We want everything. So that is the reason. Okay. So so next important article is Rajnath Singh to participate SCO Defense Ministry are meeting in China. So dear student, it is your homework. You have to study about the member of SCO, when SCO is formed, when India is joined, what are the new member of SCO. ठीक है, what is the RACT regional anti-terror architecture structure क्या होती है, what are the countries, and which, tell me in the comment box which Central Asian country is not part of the SCO. So in a first visit since Operation Sindoor, so Defense Ministry Rajnath Singh will travel to the China to participate Shanghai Cooperation Organization Defense Ministry meet. Okay, so visit India and China step to restore their tie, including resumption of trade and travel linkage through as well as dialogue mechanism. So India pilgrimage, that is going to be Kailash Manasarovar. The first batch undertook the trip since 2020 after the Galwan Valley. So now it is open. They can travel through the China. Okay. So next, both you can see the normalization process. So now we are trying to normalize the relationship with China so that we can manage our difference for time being. Now we are quite, there is China economy is 4 times that of Indian economy. Till we are not in an equal sense, it is you can say blunder for us to confront. Rather, we need to focus on our economy so that we can grow our economy, bridge that gap. Once your economy gap is very narrow, so in that case we can directly confront. But if we start behaving like that, it is going to impact us very negatively. Okay, both leaders are expected to attend BRICS summit in Brazil. So you have to study about BRICS summit and who are the member of the BRICS, and BRICS summit is going to happen in Brazil. Okay, so next you can see about SCO member are expected to discuss defense and security cooperation along with SCO special regional anti-terror structure. So tell me in the comment box the RAT, the regional anti-terror architecture headquarters is located in which country. Okay, so Mr. Singh participated at the SCO conference, will also watch closely India position in Israel and Iran relationship. Okay. So next, it is seen that Hindi and English top choice as medium of instruction for class 10 and 12. So just find some data here. So this data can be used in writing. Okay. So like top two language that is used for education is Hindi and English. So just find some data here that can be used in your mains examination. So next is Airport Accidental Investigation Bureau yet to decide where the Air India black box will be decoded. So India did not have dedicated lab before, but Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau inaugurated recently, one in April, previous after Kozhikode crash in August 2020. So black box was sent to the USA. So before that, we send our black box for decoding whatever the conversation in USA. But now we have a you can say lab at New Delhi. So government body investigating, that is Air India Boeing crashes. So they have taken black box and to decode after assessment of all technical safety and security consideration. So two different set of black box recover. So what black box contain what? So digital flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, digital flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder. So the Airport Accident Investigation Bureau investigate Kozhikode Air Express crashes in August 2020 that killed 21 out of the 21 one night on board. So black box was sent to the American lab. So there we decode what happened there. So but now we have the lab, so we don't know. So in April inaugurated, so AIIB, that is Aircraft Accidental Investigation Bureau, April inaugurated digital flight data recorder cockpit voice recorder laboratory in its headquarters, setting off with an investigation 9 crore में बनाए थे, ठीक है. So each there is a requirement by the international aviation body. So we have to publish an initial finding report in 30 days, preliminary report जिसको हम बोलते हैं. So UN Aviation Safety Watchdog, that is International Civil Aviation Organization. So it is talking about within 130 days we have to submit a preliminary investigation. But past accident we have not submitted that, because as per our rules, accidental aircraft accidental rule, there is no such condition we have to publish the preliminary investigation. But as for the international norms, we have to publish that. Okay, so Kozhikode Prop team did not release the preliminary report because rules don't lay down timeline for it. Require such report only categorize nature of mishap. Okay, so it is given. You can see here the aircraft investigation accidental rules frame under the principal law Bharatiya Vayu Videk's rule. So that is talking about we have to disclose within provide a preliminary investigation report within 30 days. Okay. Next is in UK, our Commerce Ministry, Piyush Goyal ji, seeking trade agreement with rich and democratic country. We want to have trade relation with country where we are going to gain more rather than losing. So this developing country, like you can say USA, UA, Canada. So there is a lot of complementarity. There is lack of competition. So that is going to flip to the both India as well as this developing country. And one more thing, this country we are also having trade surplus. If we are going to have free trade agreement, it is also going to boost our economy. That is what the crux of this article. Okay. So recently in past time, Donald Trump accepted that it is the leader of India and Pakistan who have ended the conflict, not on the basis of intervention of Donald Trump. So next is ASI to organize global meet on Indus script. So recently, Tamil Nadu CM announced that anyone is able to decipher the Indus scripture, they'll get $1 million prize. So we need to know something about Indus script. So they are comprising of 40 picture like this. They use some picture like this, okay, to represent something. So if you are able to understand what they are trying to convey, so that prize is given to that person. Okay. So dear student, it is a homework study about ASI, like Archaeological Survey of India. Who is the first Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, headquarter kahan hai, and so you have to study detail. Okay. So they can ask a question on that. So India to help citizen who wish to leave Israel via land border. So here you have to study about the all the land border of Israel. So you have to study all the land border of Israel. So same you have to study all the land border of Iran. Okay, India citizen who is to leave Israel in wake of its current conflict with Iran will be assisted to returning home through bordering Israel. Okay, so around 36,000 Indian people are currently residing in kahan? Israel, in Israel. So in view of recent development, so Iran government is also helping. So their travel, okay. So like those who are staying in Israel, they can travel to a neighboring country, and those who are in Iran, they can also travel to the neighboring country. So 110 students from the war-torn Iran landed in New Delhi via Armenia. So Armenia, it's a very good country that is having very good relationship with India. We know recently we have launched Operation Sindhu to evacuate all these people, those who are stranded in Israel and Iran. Okay, so you need to remember about Operation Sindhu, Operation Devi Shakti, okay, Operation Ganga. You have to remember that. So they can ask about for this operation and their objective. So India and Israel official hold a talk on West Asian conflict. India recently talk with Israel so that if any conflict that is beyond spiraling out from the you can say Israel, it is not in our interest. I've already told you there is a lot of interest to have peace in the West Asia. Okay? So so this is all about the article. So next it is talking about when like some movie. So Kerala has a strong and eventful, often forgotten history of land struggle by the tribal society. So we know that tribal society, they have community land, so they don't have land in a record form or personal land. So because of that, any sort of project activity, we don't have proper compensations to the tribal people. So when they repeatedly displaced by all this development, so they joined all this left-wing extremism, or you can say insurgency. So tribal are generally, they are very submissive people. They don't fight whenever it is their survival, whenever we have destroyed their land. So they have come and fight against the state. So it is our responsibility to ensure that welfare of the tribal people, so that there is a holistical development of India. So this article is actually a very good article. So it is talking about why India should address its propulsion gap. Propulsion means to have a very good aircraft, or you can say fighter jet. We need to have a super engine that can be, catering to all our needs. So even in past, we have seen there are fighter jet that is we have been developed, that is called HF-24 Marut. So we have developed HF-24 Marut, but it is not being developed properly because of lack of proper engine. We have designed it, we have created it, but because of the engine that we are used, it is not able to provide sufficient thrust. So because of that, it is not going to supply. And after that, India started LCA, light combat aircraft, to replace the MiG-21. And initially we plan to establish through our own engine. It's called Kaveri engine. So, but after so many long year of research, but at the end, Kaveri engine not able to fulfill, the amount of thrust that we need and thrust to weight ratio. So, because of that, currently in our LCA we use General Electric 404 engine. But it is producing around 80 to 85 kilonewton of thrust. So, but it is not enough, and we are going to develop, you can say, Tejas 2 or medium weight aircraft. So here we are going to use General Electric 414 engine that is going to provide 115 kilonewton of thrust. Okay, so all this engine we rely on the USA, and we know the USA we cannot rely. So they can flip flop their you can say foreign policy as per their suitability and need. So to overcome that, India is also in active talk with Safran. Safran is the French manufacturer, and we are also talk with Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce is the UK company. Okay, so we are in talk with that, but these talks are not yet materialized. So we can say that to ensure indigenous aircraft that is having fully control by India, so that we can export to any other country without any restriction, we have to invest in our own, you can say, the engine technology. So it might take time, it might take a lot of money, but it is worth of investing, because other countries they cannot supply us the core technology. For example, the core of Kaveri, there is a problem in the core of the Kaveri, and in core of the Kaveri we need single crystal blade, so that can sustain high temperature, that can be developed with our own failure. So we have to accept that it is not the failure of the Kaveri engine, but it is a process of learning. Each failure, it will give you some new experience, new learning, that we can move forward. For example, आप लोग का अगर मान लीजिए if you fail in prelims, that means you need to learn what kind of problem you are facing, and you can use that as an opportunity to move ahead. Okay. So next, why delaying census will affect its implementation. So I think already I have discussed about census a lot. So I've already highlighted it. Please read it. Okay. So the exiting refuse status, getting back dignity. So India is having large number of refugees. So a refugee, like from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal. So all over they are staying. But this article is talking about the condition of refugee from the, you can say, Sri Lanka. They are not in good condition despite they are staying in the 40 year, but still we are expecting them that they'll return back to the Sri Lanka despite the so many hardship they are facing, not in a human condition. So this article is talking about all these things, and there are a lot of Tibetan who are also staying in the Dharamsala. So that is a irony. On the one hand, we are giving high priority supports to the Tibetan. On the other hand, we are not giving that priority to the Tamilian. So this article is talking about that only. Okay. So next is, this article is given by Suasin Haidarji. So blame not messenger in Indian diplomacy. So recently, we are seeing, after Pahalgam attack, we have sent our diplomats to all over the world to create awareness. But at the end, we have seen that something backfire. Like Pakistan get more recognition. Like they get fund from the World Bank, they get fund from the Asian Development Bank. They also not get, their relation with you can say US is getting cemented. So this article is all about talking about that. So matlab, just read all this fact figure they are given, very important, but the essence, real meaning, it is not important, much important for our UPSC examination. If you have PSIR is optional, it is very important. Just read this data that is given, Jaisha Mohammed, all these things happen. These data are very important individually for your examination, but as a whole this article not convey much meaning for our mains examination. Okay. Dear student, this is all about the 20th June current affair, dear students. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and please share this channel to your friend. And if you have any feedback, you are always welcome to give suggestion dear student, we'll have to end the class here. चलिए, bye bye, take care.